gals, and non-binary pals. Welcome to something a little bit different on the Gamer Social Club channel. If you're looking at this on YouTube, you can see it already. If you're listening on your favorite podcast service, we'll fill you in, don't worry about it. Welcome to GSC's Girl Pod. I'm going to be your host today, Candy, and I am joined by the lovely and sometimes dangerous V for today's episode. If you're tuning in,
Hello, everyone.
if you're tuning in for the first time, which you probably are because it's the first episode, unless this has been wildly successful and now you're going backwards to listen to all of them. What started out as a small joke has now grown into this podcast, so each episode we'll talk about gaming from our girl perspectives. But before we start, if you're not already following the channel, make sure to click that subscribe button, whether it's on your favorite podcast service or on YouTube. You can watch V on the weekly news podcast every Thursday, and then you can check out a rotation of the gang on the party chat every Friday. And if that's not enough, which it's probably not because we're gamers, so we can sometimes be a little bit obsessive, make sure to check out gamersocialclub.ca, which is the website we all write for. You'll find editorials, guides, news, and reviews written for gamers by gamers. Did I miss anything, V?
No, I don't think so. I think you've got that down. Like all those 3 hours of practice that we just did, just right up to that point, cracked it. Like
Done. So we're gonna do things a little bit differently on Girl Pod. So first we're gonna start with what the hell are we drinking today? Because what is a podcast without a drink?
Exactly.
So what do you have today?
Today I have a lovely chilled, because it's very warm, bottle of white Rioja. I have brought the whole bottle with me. I don't know if Candy has brought the whole bottle of. Yep. So it's a nice Spanish wine. A lot of people probably have heard of Rioja before, but might not be aware that you can get it in a white version when it is ridiculously warm outside and you would like something chilled. So that is what I am having. What are you drinking?
I haven't had a Rioja. What is?
Oh.
Yeah, is it sweet? Is it more bitter? What is it?
No, they're generally pretty fruity. So it's like there's a lot of fruit. The white ones, has got a lot of sort of grapes and some tropical fruit to it. But if you have like a red Rioja, it's like all red berries and quite jammy. So very good with spicy food, both of them, I would say. Or Spanish food, obviously, as it's Spanish. So yeah, I would recommend if you can get your hands on one. You probably like it if you prefer something a bit sweeter.
I do. I haven't heard of Rioja before, but I've just started getting into wines and trying them out. So I usually stick with something like a Moscato, but today I have this Beck's Riesling, which was recommended to me when I went down to the liquor store. I was going to pick up a different Riesling, and they said, try it out. I said, sure. And it's actually pretty good. I always joke that like the more expensive a bottle is doesn't mean that it's better. This was like $9 American. I don't know what the conversion is for everybody, but it's cheap and it's delightful if you like sweeter wines. I say I have a garbage palate, so like the name suggests, if it tastes like candy, I'm in.
Yeah. No, Rieslings are great though. They're super nice, especially because it's really warm where you are as well. So like nice Riesling straight out the fridge. Like it's going to be helpful on a day like today.
It's super refreshing. Like I think that's like I don't drink wine necessarily to get drunk, and I don't know how to pair it with food because also my food palate is garbage. I'm just like something sweet, refreshing. I'm sold. And not too filling. That's the other piece. I don't like when drinks are overly filling. Unless that's like what I'm going for. I don't know. I like cider, but I can't have too many ciders because I'll just get full from the carbonation before anything else.
Yeah, I mean I do drink quite a lot of beer, but that is an issue. You're like 4 or 5 drinks of beer in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what this is, not to sound really weird, but obviously, in case you've not noticed, you've not listened to any of the podcasts before. I'm Scottish. So our drinking culture.
That accent is Scottish? Get out of here.
But our drinking culture is a little bit different from quite a lot of people's in the world's drinking culture. So we do sometimes drink to get drunk, sometimes. So what I would maybe consider not a lot to drink is sometimes what other people would consider quite a bit to drink. But yeah, 4 or 5 beers, that's very filling. Whereas 4 or 5 glasses of very nice wine, not at all.
Not at all. You can fit that 6th, 7th, maybe an 8th if you're getting wild.
Yeah, if it's a really nice day and, you don't have anything to do tomorrow.
Literally me today. Just
Yeah,
this.
yeah. I do have an interview for the site again tomorrow, so I can't have too many wins. Like, but
Not too.
it's not till later on in the evening. It'll be fine.
You got time. It'll make the
Yeah,
writing
I've got so much
process
time.
easier. The words will
Yeah,
just flow.
yeah. It's a video interview, so I'm just like making sure that I don't look rough as hell, not just on it being like, "Hi, thanks so much for being here." Oh God, I'm so wrong. Like, just give me a minute. Give me a minute.
Well, they do say that, a little bit of drink is what makes the truth come out. So really, it'll be the most honest review ever.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, this the voice actors from the Alters will be
Nice.
joining me on an interview tomorrow. So I'll just be like, okay, so tell me everything about yourself. Tell me like just he's like, this isn't a normal interview, and it's like, no, it's fine though. Just you can trust me. It's a safe space. Like
100%.
have a glass of wine. It'll be great.
Yeah. It's a low-key, relaxed, review interview, and it's just everybody having a good time. You're just giving them the space to really be their most comfortable selves.
Yeah,
That's all.
exactly.
A different
exactly.
twist. That's all.
Yeah, that's what Gamer Social Club's all about. Doing something a little bit different to what everybody else is doing. So
Exactly.
drunk interviews with voice actors is now on the cards.
I mean, it would definitely be a very different twist. I don't know
Oh,
if
yeah.
you watch Hot Ones. Hot Ones does like the Hot Wings challenge. We could do the drinking challenges.
Oh yeah, that would be really good. Can you imagine if we managed to somehow get like Ben Starr or something on Girl Pod, and we're like, "What are you drinking, Ben?" And he's like, "Oh, I've got a delightful rosé," and then we just all get really drunk.
You know what? I could see it.
Yeah, I can see it.
I could see it. Seeing him at PAX, he was at PAX East, and I got to chat with him for a little bit. He was very just like easy to talk to, low key. Like he was just trying to buy a set of dice, and then we were just like casually talking. So I'm like, I could see like him just being like, yeah, I'll have a few drinks. Like probably, I don't know if you are following like the Date Everything social media or his social media, but he posted from the Date Everything like launch party. And
Yeah, I did see that.
yeah, so clearly he also enjoys his drinks as we do. So, it might not be far-fetched.
No, I think we should message him. I think we should be like, Ben, come talk to us. You can be our first Girl Pod guest.
Oh my God, that would be amazing. Like, come talk to us. We'll chat whatever game you want to talk about. You want to talk Warframe? You want to talk Final Fantasy 16? You want to talk Date Everything? You want to talk Expedition 33? Like,
yeah, Kazan. He voiced Kazan in the first Berserker, didn't he? Yeah, just anything you want. We'll have played it, and we will. And if we haven't, we will play it before you get on the pod. Yes. Guaranteed. Like,
you want to talk theater? Because I know he's done theater. I will talk theater. Like I've got playbills behind me. We'll talk theater. We'll talk whatever you want.
Yeah. You want to talk about the weird drinking culture that happens in the UK? I can do that. I can cover that off.
I have visited and I very much enjoyed it. So listen, you know what? I'm happy to revisit. We'll just do this in person.
Yeah, we'll do it live. We'll do like an EGX or something.
There we go.
As long as Ben Starr's there, we'll message him. We'll be like, let's meet up at the pub, do live Girl Pod in the pub with Ben Starr.
100%. If someone has a connection to Ben Starr, hook us up.
Yeah, please let us know. We will buy the pints. Like, don't worry, he will not have to pay for his own pint. Like,
I'll buy dinner too. I mean, dinner, drinks.
Yeah,
we're in.
You've got a free night out here, Ben. Like, we can talk about Balatro. I've got a set of Balatro playing cards. We can play cards. Like,
see, this sounds like a wonderful evening out. I'm just saying.
Yeah, if I was Ben Starr, I would take us up on this offer. Is all I'm saying. Like,
listen, if we want to get the dice involved again, I will run a like D&D one shot too. Like, we'll do it.
That would be amazing.
We'll do it. I'm in. I can DM a one shot.
Yeah, we'll do it. We'll bring dice. We will give you dice. I know you're trying to buy dice, Ben. We will gift you with some dice. Please come and talk to us.
That's our pitch.
Yeah, there you go. That's what we're here to say. Like,
what if every episode we just pitch to a different voice actor?
Oh, we absolutely have to. We have to. I've even got a one that I would definitely pitch to, like, but it would be like candlelit dinner, and he would have to dress as Gareth Vakarian. Like,
That is amazing. Okay, so
it's like
every
Brandon Keener,
episode, new
please come and
pitch.
have dinner with me. Like,
Every episode, new pitch, new voice actor. That'll just be,
mm,
and eventually somebody will say yes.
mm. Exactly. We have to then just think about what we think their perfect podcast date would be. So Ben Starr in the pub playing a D&D one shot. I think he would love that. So when we do our pitch, it's like find out a little bit about the person. What would they enjoy? And this is your perfect podcast date on the Girl Pod. Like,
See, there you go. So that'll be one of our running things. So I didn't mention it before, but this is basically episode 0.
yeah, we got distracted by Ben Starr.
We
Like, easily done.
Who doesn't? Who doesn't get distracted?
It's very true. It's very true.
We talked about our pitch, but I guess we didn't fully say who we are. I mean, I mentioned that you are on the Thursday Weekly News podcast. For people who maybe this is their first time listening because they've been waiting for a fantastic girl pod, do you want to give yourself a little introduction?
Sure. Yeah. So I'm V. You may have seen me on Twitter or on Blue Sky as Lady V of the Dread Fortress, which is my D&D character. But yeah, I've been playing games for like 30 years now, since my dad taught me how to build my first gaming PC when I was very young. So I started off with a bit of like Command and Conquer and things like that, and then just slowly accumulated more and more games and genres that I enjoy, and consoles that are now everywhere. As I grew up throughout my life, but yeah, just lifelong gamer, love it. And yeah, it's just been super fun over the past year and a half now to do Gamer Social Club. Oh, and yeah, I am the lead reviews editor over at Gamer Social Club. So if you see a mistake in one of our reviews, feel free to send me an angry comment. It helps with engagement. Just drop it down below to be like, she can't spell, or that was terrible. Like, just direct it to me. That's completely fine.
And a comment that something is wrong, not that our score is wrong, because that is more subjective. Just
yeah, and I don't write all the scores, so you can't tell me like, yeah, but that is very subjective. If you don't agree, feel free to disagree, but don't hate on any of our writers for their opinions on games.
Yeah.
Just their spelling and the fact that I can't proofread. That's also fine. Like,
listen, there's a lot of reviews that go up, right? There's a lot.
yeah, there's a lot. We do a lot. Yeah.
So cut a little bit of slack, but if it's like really, really bad, and if it's one of mine, just feel free to be like, "What the hell did you write?" And I'll be like, "Okay, sure." Yeah, and I have only been writing for Gamer Social Club since November-ish, so not even a full year. But I have been gaming probably since before I could walk. My dad was a gamer, so like I have very fond memories of playing on like the NES, like Duck Hunt and games like that, like really, really old school.
Yeah.
You know, and then just not that I didn't have friends, but a lot, all of my friends were gamers too growing up, so I got to try a lot of different things. And then only recently got into more like heavy duty gaming on PC. And I have been primarily a PlayStation and Nintendo person, mostly because when we got the Xbox, that was Dad's console. Dad was like, "This is my console. These are my games. You can have this," which was fine and worked out. And
was it Halo? Was he a big Halo man?
No, he's more of a when he doesn't play as much as he used to. But him and his friends would play a lot of sports games, and that was like their thing. And it was just like I think he realized that I was really into gaming, and the problem would be like both of us trying to play at the same time. So then it just became like, all right, one has the Xbox, one has this, and he had his man cave. So that's where the Xbox was. So that's why it's like I never really touched an Xbox. I never really did much with it. There it was. I knew it existed.
I was aware that Gears of War was a game.
Yeah,
Like,
like I knew it was there. You know, and then college years, I mean this ages me, but then college years was very much like Rock Band, if people remember the fun stuff of Rock Band.
yeah,
Yeah.
I loved Rock Band. Like, I was so bad at it.
Oh yeah, I was not good, but that was like there would be times like the college that I went to, they had apartments, so I brought my whole Rock Band setup and my PlayStation to like where we were living, and it would just be me and my roommates until like 2 a.m. just like
Yeah,
playing Rock Band, maybe some drinks. Like half the time we weren't even drinking. It was just like I kind of want to play the drums a little bit. I kind of want to play guitar. Sure, let's do it. Like, and
yeah.
that was college.
That sounds like the perfect college experience. Like, it sounds so good. We need to bring back something like Rock Band or Guitar Hero.
Yes.
Like, there's not enough party games to get loads of people playing at once. You
And
know, you can do
yeah.
Mario Party and then you can hate all your friends afterwards. Or you can play Mario Kart and then you can hate all your friends afterwards. But there's
Yes.
nothing to be like, oh, let's all just play together that's super casual, but not makes me hate all my friends afterwards.
Yeah, and
Like,
I think Rock Band is also so interesting in the fact that like people who aren't necessarily gamers but like music will try it out. And that's like a perfect gateway to get them into like different games because there are different rhythm type games if it's the rhythm that they're really into, but it's not like it's not competitive. It's, you know, it's a very different style. So, you know, Rock Band, I think they finally stopped fully releasing stuff for it. I think I could be wrong, and if I'm wrong, you can tell me in the comments somewhere. Um, you know, but I remember it was like we had a friend who he would host parties. This was like maybe 5 years ago. He'd host parties, and we would go and we would just Venmo him or give him cash to buy more songs on his account, so that every time we went, we had more songs.
that's amazing. Like, I love that. I didn't even know they were still releasing content like that recently for it, actually, to be
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, and then I think
Um,
they finally like stopped. But and like Rock Band was even one of the things that even though my dad had moved away from gaming, Rock Band was one of the things that got him sort of playing games again, especially when they did the Beatles edition. Because
oh,
then he
yeah.
wanted the Paul McCartney guitar. So like even when we got rid of everything else for Rock Band, he kept that guitar just because it was a replica.
That's amazing. Just like, I'm going to have this. It's like, oh, do you want to see my guitar? It's a Paul McCartney replica guitar, and then you just whip out a Guitar Hero controller.
Hmm.
Like,
Hmm.
it's like, that's so cool. I love that.
This is why I am I like sometimes people are like, why are you the way you are? And then I tell stories about my dad and it's like, oh yeah, this checks
Yeah.
out. This makes sense.
No, absolutely. I see. I get that. I absolutely. That is the most relatable thing I think anyone's ever said. Just like, why are you the way that you are? And I'm like, well,
Let me tell
yeah,
you where
my
I come
father,
from.
super weird, like super great, the weirdest little man on the planet. Like,
Hmm.
like it's
Oh
like
yeah.
somehow my sister completely normal, me super weird.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah. My dad likes to say that I have grown to out nerd him.
yep, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, yeah,
I can, yeah,
that checks out. Yeah.
same,
Yeah.
yeah. He still has his PC. He still plays some games. We still sometimes play Command and Conquer together,
Aw, okay.
but
Uh,
but he does not have any consoles or anything like that. He's just like, what is this? I'm like, oh, it's my Steam Deck, and he's like, I don't. What do you need this? I thought you also had a Switch, and I'm like, yeah, but they do different things. You don't understand. Like, it's like,
mm-hmm.
why do you need everything? And I'm like, you don't understand.
You don't understand. There's things that are console exclusives.
Yeah,
Nintendo's
they
not
do
putting these
different
out
things.
elsewhere.
Yeah, yeah. I've not. You can't get Mario Kart World on Steam. You probably get it on PC at this point. But
Those modders are
yeah,
quick.
yeah, absolutely. But I'm like, yeah, this you have to take the nerdiness on from your parents at some point
Hmm.
and become the true gamer of the family. Like,
Surpass them.
yeah.
100%. 100%. So I mean, I think the next thing that we were going to talk about was like what we want to do with Girl Pod in general, but I think anybody listening slash watching has gotten a sense so far.
Yeah, yeah,
We're going to drink, we're going to talk games, we're going to talk nonsense. Um, and then we're just gonna have a good time, and hopefully anybody who is listening is gonna have a good time. And I think the one thing that we didn't say with the games, because we've just talked about like random assortment of things, is that it's going to be more than just the cozy traditional like female attracted games, right? So yes, I understand that there are girls who like Stardew and uh what's another one that's like really cozy? Palia or whatever, right? Um
Yeah.
but we're probably not going to talk about those too much here.
No, because there are other girls that don't like those things, and there's no shame to anyone who likes a lovely cozy game. All video gaming is good gaming,
Mhm.
but it's not for me. And I
Not
think
for me.
we both agree that the girl sphere, the female-led gaming sphere on the internet, is a little bit underserved for chats about things that are not cozy gaming and stuff like that. So
Yes.
we're not going to talk about Stardew Valley. I've never played it. It doesn't appeal. Like so,
I've
yeah.
tried it. I will say I am the type of person, for better or worse when it comes to my sanity, is before I talk shit about something, I will try it. Right?
Yeah.
So I will give it an attempt. Um and I have tried Stardew at least twice, and it is just not for me. And I understand the appeal. I do. It's not for me, and my husband really likes it. And I have said the only way that I will play it again is if we do the Joja route, because that is the one that people hate.
Okay.
And I'm like, that's the only way
I
you're
don't know
getting
what
me
that
back in
means.
this. So there's like the route where you like save the town and you work with everybody and whatever, and you kick out like the big bad business that like threatens to take over. Having come from a having lived in a town that was very small and stuck in the past, to the point where we didn't have mail delivery and still had to go to the post office to pick up our mail. Yeah, exactly. I see your face. Exactly. That's how stuck in the past we were. Like, we still had to go to a central place and get our mail. We still had, and they were very much like, no, we have to keep like the big corporations out. And I understand that to an extent. But having lived that sort of life per se, I'm like, no, it is okay to get into the 20th century. This is fine.
Yeah.
So the
It's okay to get your mail delivered.
yeah,
Like,
right.
God.
So like even in Stardew Valley, they get their mail delivered. But so it's like, so I say, I'm like, a little bit of corporate is okay. A little bit of modernizing is okay. But everyone
Yeah.
tends to look at the Jojo route as like the evil one, and I'm like, that's the only way I'm playing this. Like, if we are playing this, this is how we're doing it from now on.
Yeah.
So I might do that one day on stream, but that's the only way I'm stepping back into that. And even games that some people see as cozy, like I do play The Sims, but it's always drama filled. There's always some level of, this person is cheating on this one killed
Yeah.
this one did this. I'm like, none of the way that I played is cozy. It's like a really bad soap opera that I can't look away from.
No, is that not? I thought that's how everyone played The
That's
Sims.
not how
I
everybody
thought
plays this.
I thought you just, you make everything really dramatic, and then you get bored, and then you just put them in the swimming pool and you take the ladder away, and then you watch them drown, and then you're like, haha, and then you like don't play The Sims again for like 6 months. Like,
That's literally me. I play it for a lot and then I don't touch it again. No, some people are
yeah,
like, I'm trying this challenge. Or, I mean, and people do some of the challenges that are a little not so cozy, like the 100 Baby or the Black Widow. But some people are like, I just really like the building aspect, or I just really like this aspect. And that's cool, right? And I've done some of the building. Like, I actually, for just like a mental challenge, I had built the house that I grew up in from memory, right? And I was like, let's see how well I remember
yeah.
it. And then I found it on like a realtor website and compared it to see if my memory was as good as I hoped it was. Thankfully it was. I'm not going senile just yet. So people play it in all different ways, but when I play it, I'm like, this is hectic. I actually had someone on stream say, I now understand why when you say The Sims is not cozy, I understand.
It's like I see it now.
Yeah. I'm like, welcome to
Okay.
the inside of my head. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is why we're not going to talk cozy games, because we will make them not cozy.
Well, I will make them not cozy. I will. I played Stardew and was like, I don't have any memories of my grandfather. My grandfather wouldn't leave me a whole farm. Like, this is triggering. And obviously I was, being very cheeky and like joking when I said that.
Yeah.
But I'm like, this is how I would approach something like that. So we're not going to do that here. Maybe
No.
one day we'll have a guest that wants to talk cozy and we'll explore cozy. Because I know there are girls who write for GSC who do love their cozy games, right?
Yeah.
But 99.9% of what you're going to see here is not going to be cozy.
No, it's definitely not going to be cozy.
Not at all.
If
And
you,
oh,
yeah.
God.
I was just going to say, like, in the future, if we really take off and we're thinking about potentially doing some streams and stuff, Girl Pod live streams or something like that, we can show you how terribly we treat our Sims. Like, it's
Mm-hmm.
like we can give you a live demo of why The Sims is not a cozy game. Like, obviously, you can see that on Candy's stream if she's streaming The Sims, because she does stream. But in the future, we might do GSE Girl Pod stream, and you can see why we should not be allowed around cozy things, because we will ruin them.
I did kill one of my Sims on stream just earlier this week. The storyline has just I was trying to go with the story where like the parents were criminals and the daughter was going to grow up to be a cop and see like if the game made them like interact with each other.
Oh,
Um and so at one point the father was upset that the mother was doing better in the criminal world, so he got her pregnant, so she had to take time off, right? He's also cheated on her many, many times. She caught him cheating, so she divorced him. And he said, "No one divorces me," and he had her killed. So this is how I play The Sims, right? So
I
literally
love
earlier
that.
this
I
week,
love that.
this is what I do. I
That's psychotic. It's amazing.
it is it is. Sometimes I'm like, I think I get it out in The Sims so I can exist in the real world as a normal person.
Yeah, so like, I don't want to have to kill any of my coworkers, so I need to do this. Like, you know,
It's therapeutic. It's
yeah,
it's relieving. It's fine.
we are fine. Like,
Fine. Everything's fine here. Fine.
yeah.
But speaking of games that are maybe not so cozy, I have finished this game and you started it, the Nirvana Initiative.
Yes, yes. So I'm probably about 3 or 4 hours in now, so not too far, but I have started it after owning it for probably since it came out, actually, to be perfectly honest. Because I played the first one,
Mm-hmm.
AI, The Somnium Files,
So
if
good.
people are not familiar. And it is so good. It is wild. It is not cozy at all. But it is the funniest and funnest game about a murderer that gouges out people's eyes that you will ever play. I think is probably the best way
Mm-hmm.
to put it. um, and the second one seems you told me the second one was more wild, and I'm not gonna lie. Like the first half an hour, I was like, "Oh no, she's right." So it's like,
Yeah.
how is this man being cut in half? But
Mm-hmm.
one half of him was dead 6 years ago, and one half of him is dead now. But also the new AI, Tama. The first one you get Aiba, who's like quite cute. Obviously, this is a Japanese game, so she's quite cute. There's a little bit of fan service here and there to
Mm-hmm.
it, but nothing too much. And then in the second one, you get an AI companion called Tama, who's dressed up as like a hot leather cop woman in a therapist office, and
Mm-hmm.
she's like, how are you doing? Like, we were doing some AI therapy. Like, what's wrong? It's like, oh, I feel underappreciated at work. It's like, fill your boss's desk with porn, and then you won't get a bad, he won't be able to give you a bad evaluation again. I was like, she's got a point though. She does have a point.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's wild. I'm loving it. I'm so excited to finish it. Um, and I'm so excited for the next one that's going to come out as well.
I know
So,
the fact that it's so funny because the fact that even they give you the opportunity to just talk to her on the side, I'm like, yes, the first one was a little fan servicey. The second one definitely dials it up a bit, but like they, even though it's fan service and being able to spend time with her and dress her up and do all this, like they still give you more of her personality in those moments. So yes, visually it's fan service, but you're learning more about the character in the way that she's doing it and the way that she approaches life and leading,
yeah.
you know, the her specific sinker through everything. I remember, so I had streamed that game, and I remember the first, I think it is like the first 30 minutes where suddenly the screen seems like it's glitching out and there's no more English and it's all Japanese, and I was like, what is happening? I just remember being like,
Yeah.
uh, huh?
Yeah.
And then it like picks up into like the rest of the game, and I just remember being like, oh, oh, okay. Like it was so jarring, and I had gotten into the Somnium Files a little bit after it had been out, right? So I was
Yeah.
able to play the first one and go right into the second one, which was
Did
great.
you get the Did you get the quiz at the start right? Where
I
there's like,
did. I did. So I was like, yeah, here's the things. Because I just played it, right? Like, I remember these
yeah,
things. Which I think that was also a really clever way of, like, making sure people remember what happened, right? If you played the first
yeah,
one, but it's been years, because maybe you played it when it first came out, right? And so I really like that premise. And if you haven't played the first one, it's like, no big deal. We'll fill in the gaps for you. Here's what you need to know. Um, but I just remember that first, like, 30 minutes being so wild that I was like, what is happening? Like
yeah,
this feels so crazy. And I finished the first one not that long ago, so like to feel so jarred by it, and there are moments as you get through it that were just, I just remember being like, oh my god, like this is how we're going through this story, and this is, the structure of the storytelling. And anybody who has played the first one, or even if you haven't played the first one, which you should, um you know the story is locked at certain points because it forces you to go back and make different decisions, so you have to
yeah,
make certain decisions to get the full story and see how everything plays out for the true ending. um and this does very much the same thing in the way that it jumped back and forth. And I don't think you see it in the first 3 to 4 hours, so I won't say too much, but the way that it jumps was so cool. And the way that they brought certain characters into the fold from the first one, and the way that you got to see this new sinker, and his experience, especially after that meltdown that he had in the first 30 minutes, I was like,
yeah.
this is this is exciting. And when I finally got to the real ending, I just remember putting down my controller and being like, oh shit. Like, okay.
I love a put down your controller ending of a game. If you can make me put my controller down at the end of a game, I would consider it an amazingly good game.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, if I'm not just like, oh, that was fun. If I have to put my controller down and go, what the fuck just happened, or I'm going to go lie down and have a cry or something like that. Like, if you can make me do that, then you've made a fantastic game. So I'm so excited to play more of it. Like,
Yeah, very few games have made me do that. I think the only other game in like recent memory that has made me do that, like while playing it, and not at the end, but like maybe midway, was probably Persona 5. That was one game
yeah,
that like there was a very specific scene, and I know it's been out almost 10 years. But there was a very specific scene that I remember like turning it off and just like going to bed and being like, I can't believe they did that.
no, no, you need to tell me the scene. Like, IM me about it. Text me about it later. Like, because
I mean,
Persona 5's like,
it's a 10-year-old game. I'm gonna say
yeah,
spoiler warning if
early
you
morning.
haven't played it yet, although you should. It's the scene where you think they killed Joker, but they didn't really.
Yeah,
When it
yeah,
finally catches up to real time, or real time, when it catches up to where they are in the whole story. And I just remember being like, oh my god, they killed him, right? Like, I can't believe they killed him. And then
yeah,
realizing that that's not what happened, but I was like, oh my god, this twist was so good. But it made me sit and really be like, wow, like
yeah.
this happened. Like,
It's such a good game.
it's
Yeah.
I mean, all right, I'm not even gonna lie, I made it part of, like, that people say like, oh, you make it part of your personality. Definitely became part of my personality. When we got married in 2018, we actually had Queen, Joker, and Morgana on our wedding cake.
Oh, that's so cute. I love that.
Those
Yeah.
were the toppers. um
Mhm.
so it was, again, just really good. And now Persona 5 X, like the gotcha game, has come out, and I'm playing that. um and that's been interesting so far. I've only played it for a few hours, so I can't say good, bad, or in between just yet, although so far I'm leaning to good. Um,
Yeah.
but you know, Persona is definitely one of those series that I'm like, they put something out, like I'm in, like
Oh,
just give me, you know, and
absolutely.
that's how I feel about I might mess up his pronunciation, but Uchikoshi, who did the Somnium Files and the Nirvana Initiative, right? Like,
Yeah.
I haven't played the Zero Escape games yet. They're on my backlog to play. But like he put something out and I'm like, I'm in. You know, and him and the guy who did Danganronpa, Kodaka, they did the 100 Line Academy, and I've been like slowly grinding away at that because I'm like, it is literally the best of both of these series.
Yeah.
It is unreal. Um, you know, so I just think I'm pretty sure his name is Uchikoshi, but his
I'm
mind,
pretty sure it is. Yeah.
yeah, and the way he creates these like branching narratives and the way they intertwine, and especially as you get through more of the Nirvana Initiative, just
Yeah.
so good. Like I'm
Well,
so excited for you to
yeah.
get through more of it.
I'm so excited, and I do like the way that the first one went because I think it was on like Game Pass or something like that, and I love a little bit of anime. I although my favorite Persona game is Persona 4, um, but I think I played that for the first time at a very pivotal point of my life,
Mm-hmm.
and I was just like, God damn, this is a goddamn game. Like, and I did sort of form a lot of my likes and dislikes from that point onward. So I played the original one on PlayStation 2 because it was one of the last games I think
Or
properly released
PlayStation 2, yeah.
for yeah. But it was like the PlayStation 3 had already been out for like a year, but it didn't get a PlayStation 3 release. It only got a PlayStation 2 release, um, which was fine because I stole my boyfriend at the time's PlayStation 2. I mean, we played it for like 2 hours or something at his house. He's a massive like Lucifer's Call fan.
Okay.
She was like,
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting this. And we played it for a couple of hours at his house, and I was just like, I need to play all of this. Like, I need to 100% this game. Can I borrow your PlayStation as I was leaving his home with it? Just like, you ain't no saying this matter. Like, I'm gone. I've robbed you. You're done. Like, um, but I remember playing through all of it, and there are moments the same like Persona 5 where you're just like, oh my, no, there's no way they did that. Like when, and again, I won't spoil it because I think even though it's an older game,
But we have
slightly
Revival
less
coming out.
accessible, the amount that I just like was so hyped for that.
I was
I
like, the
won't
rumors
spoil it.
have to be real. The rumors have to be real.
They've already done Persona 3. Like you have to give this to me. I will come to your house. You have to make it. Like Atlas. Like I will be outside your house with a boombox above my head. Like please. Like, but yeah, there's a moment in that where I think it was the same, and I was just like, no, absolutely not. They have not. Like that can't be true. Like this. And I love games that do that. And I think yeah, AI Somnium Files. There's just bits in it where you're just like, no way. There's no that no like this doesn't make any sense or that's ridiculous. And but then you because you go back and you do the full branching narrative bits of it, and then it
Mm-hmm.
all comes together. And what something that seems like they cannot possibly have an explanation for this that would be satisfying because it's too wild.
And they do.
Like, and then they do, yeah. Towards the end, it's like, yeah, it's not realistic, obviously. Like, it's a video game, but the way that they bring it all together, you're like, oh no, wait, actually, that's amazing, and I love it, and it
Yes.
really worked. So I'm so excited to play more of the second one. Like,
100%. 100%. No, I like I have a friend who I got her into these games for better or worse. She's probably like, "How could you do this to me?" And I'm like, "You love me for this." Which she finally said she does. You know, but I was like, "You got to play Danganronpa and then play the Somnium Files." And she got obsessed, and I would get these walls of text, right? Of just like her playing and, "Oh my god, I can't believe this happened and this happened." And I'm like, I wish that I could experience this for the first time all over again, and I know that I can't. But so then it's really fun to hear like where other people are in the game and what they're experiencing because it's like I can't play it for the first time, but I can sort of relive
yeah,
it through somebody else who is.
yeah. I will start sending you my walls of text. I'll be like,
Yes, please.
on the Discord. I'm like, oh, what is this? Just screenshots like, what the hell is this, Candy? What is happening here?
That's literally what her texted me. Or like, what is this? How could this happen? And then like step by step, what happened? Right? And I'm like, what do you mean what happened? And then like trying to play dumb, but being like, keep playing because I need you to get to this next part, please.
Yeah, no, I will finish it. I 100%ed the first one. I went back and got all the achievements and everything. I was like, like
it's so
I need
good.
more of it. Like,
Anytime, and like it's some of it is so silly, but I feel like they do a really good job of also the moments that are very serious or can be a little eerie or a little unsettling are offset by that humor, right? And it's like there are moments where it's just like I can't believe this is happening, or oh, this almost feels like a little too hard to swallow. And then you remember that like Date's superpower is charged by porno mags, right? And it's like, here you go. Right? You're like, okay.
yeah. They do that so well. You're right, though. They do it so because there are bits in it that are creepy, like especially like some of the sinker sections
Mm-hmm.
where you're in, well, like the Somnium essentially, and you are looking for a serial killer, and it's like all these memories of horrible things that have happened to people or thoughts and stuff, and it is a bit creepy. And then it's like, oh, like here's Iris running up, like fully pretending that she's going to like say that she's your girlfriend despite the fact she's underage and you're a known pervert. Like, and you're like, oh no, or we're in the maid cafe again. Like,
Right.
it's like,
Right.
oh. Like,
And it's just like it's enough of a weird switch to be like, what? And you forget about like how unsettling whatever else was for a moment to then be like, all
yeah,
right, I can keep playing. I'm
yeah,
in.
yeah. I'm fine. I'm fine with this. Oh, we're in boss's office and she's threatening to step on me again. And I'm like,
Yes, please.
also, would. Please do it. You keep threatening. You never follow through. Like,
right?
I'm so
Stop
upset.
being such a tease. No, it's so good. The characters in that game are so good. Like just the story, right? Again, this is like, I mean, that's the first game by that series is like the first by Uchikoshi that I've played, and I'm just like, yes, whatever you put out, like just automatic yes. Like, I haven't played the Zero Escape games, which is what he had done before, but I've bought them all because I'm like, I will get to them
Yeah.
at some point, but because your name is attached to this, I'm in. Like that's it. And
Yeah.
I know he gave his blessing for the next Somnium Files game. Didn't
Yeah.
work on it in the same way, but I know that there was an interview where they were talking to him about it, and he seemed very excited about what they've done. So I'm like, okay, yeah, like I'm in. Like if you give it your blessing and you are excited about what they've done and where they've taken the story, like I'm super in. And I knew it was going to be in anyway. And then they had the audacity to release it like the day before my birthday. So I'm like, so what I'm hearing is that I'm going to buy this game the day before my birthday, which I've already taken off of work, and probably just play this game all day.
I'm not gonna lie. That sounds like it was planned specifically for your birthday.
The last time
this
this happened
to you from the universe.
I know, the last time this happened was Fire Emblem Three Houses. And I can't tell you how much I sat and just played Fire Emblem. And it was to the point where at the time we only had one Switch in the house. Now we have two. Although we don't have the new Switch yet, but we only had one Switch.
Do you have two because of this incident?
It actually wasn't this one. It was Animal Crossing because my husband was playing a lot of Animal Crossing, and I was like, bro, like I can't keep booting up and seeing Animal Crossing again. Not a cozy gamer, right? So I ended up buying a second one. But with Fire Emblem, it was just like I bought an additional like plug to keep it charged all the time, and I kept the plug by my bedside so that I could play it before I went to sleep and then play it when I woke up before getting my day actually started. Like a crazy person. Played all the routes in Fire Emblem Three Houses. So I'm like, this game is about to become me for like the next 2 weeks after it comes out.
Yeah. No, that sounds perfect though. That sounds absolutely amazing. I could just imagine like your husband waking up beside you, you're just still on the Switch, and he's like, "Did you sleep or Did you wake up and start playing? Have you been to bed? Did you go to sleep?
The
Tell me
only
honestly,
reason he
Kathy.
knows I went to sleep is because I go to sleep earlier than he does, and then I wake up before
Okay.
he does. So that's the only reason he'll know that I slept. Unless
Yeah.
the game is really, really that addictive that then I don't sleep. But normally, he knows that I slept. The question usually is, what time did you wake up and start playing?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's normally
Like,
the question.
did I wake you up as I came to bed and then you just started playing immediately? Like, just like, oh, well, 1 a.m., day started.
I mean, literally right now, the Switch that I have, because we still have that extra cord, that Switch is in the bedroom because I have it so when I wake up and I start playing 100 Line Academy because that game has 100 endings, right? Like, so I've been playing that. I think today I finally hit 12 endings. So like I literally
How
wake
long
up
have
in
you
the
been playing it?
oh my god. It came out in April and
Okay.
uh
It's almost July.
yeah, exactly. It came out end of April. I didn't get to play it too much at first. But I knew I was in, right? So it was like Danganronpa and Somnium Files creators. Like I'm in. I bought the whole like uh a collector's edition, which I normally don't do, but I did do it for this one. Bought the whole thing, unboxed it, super excited. And I would say I've only really been able to really, really start playing it maybe the last month or so. But I easily
Yeah.
have 40 plus hours in it, right? And some of the endings are a lot shorter, but it's like the first 100 days of that game is just the prologue. You play through 100 days of this game, and that's the prologue.
Oh no, I thought Persona 5 was bad
Oh no.
when Morgana's like, go to bed, and I'm like, shut up. Like, I've played one of these games before. Stop making me go to bed. Like,
Nope, this
I've been
game.
told to go to bed by a cat. This is inappropriate. I'm an adult.
You know what though? That's my life. That's like my
Yeah.
actual life with this tuxedo cat that we have. I don't know where he is right now, but that is there are times where it'll be like 9 o'clock at night and I'll be sitting here and he'll come around and start like pawing at me and like meowing at me, like go to bed. I'm like, so I really am living Persona 5, except that I don't have the fun parts of going into the metaverse and having a cool persona. No, I just have the
Yeah.
cat who tells me to go the fuck to sleep.
Go to bed. Go to bed. You need to get up early to play 100 Line Last Defense Academy. He's like,
Literally.
it's not going to play itself.
Literally him. He's like, "Are you coming?" There have been times where I've said I'm coming to bed and I start turning everything off, but I like to clean up my desk area before I leave. I will turn the corner and he will be turning the other corner staring at me like I'm waiting for you. And I'm like, "Dude,
Calm down.
like
I
relax."
am the adult here. I'm in charge. You're never in charge if you have a cat in the house, but like
You
just
really are
pretend.
never in charge. His name is Leo, and we joke because we left him alone for one weekend. That same one weekend that we left him was the weekend that the Catholic Church chose the new pope. So we joke that we left him alone for a weekend and he became the pope. Like,
He's just there, like, go to bed.
and
Like,
now he thinks he controls everything.
yeah. I love that though. I did. That's amazing. Like,
I'm like, this cat, he's so spoiled. He knows he runs this house. It is a mess, but he's cute and he knows it, and we love him. But he does cut into my gaming time sometimes. Just
yeah.
sometimes.
You just like close the door, and then he's outside the door, being like, "I know you're in there gaming, mother. It's
He
bedtime."
he's like, let's go. Let's go. So thankfully we have the Switch. I feel like I need to get a Steam Deck because I just feel like that's the only way that sometimes I'll like get through games like fast enough. Because I'm like,
Oh
otherwise
yeah.
he's like, come on. At least the Steam Deck I can sit in bed with him. Otherwise, that might be my
You
next
should
big investment.
definitely you should definitely get a Steam Deck. I love my Steam Deck.
I
It's
might.
the one. It might be possibly the best thing that I've ever bought. I love it.
That
It
might be like the next big purchase. And like we have the Steam library share, so like, you know, I could always like play the games that he purchases too. So,
yeah.
we'll see. I mean, it would probably make doing reviews a little bit easier because I don't have to sit here the whole time and play.
Yeah, I do quite like we don't. So this is a small insight into how the site works. But if people only have a Steam Deck and we get a Steam review code, we won't give it to someone that only has the Steam Deck because a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time before stuff comes out, it's not Steam Deck verified and you
Yep.
get bugs. But if I can get away with playing the majority of the game that I get a Steam code for on the Steam Deck, so I can actually live life a little bit. So
Mm-hmm.
I frequently take my Steam Deck to the pub or to work, and so I can like fit in a couple of hours here and there. I will
Yeah.
do it. But especially when you've been sitting at a desk all day working, to then go and sit at a different PC to game, I'm like, no, I could take the Steam Deck to bed though. Like,
That's why I
like I
feel
could
like it'd
just
be
go and lie
so
in the
good.
bed. like,
I feel like it'd
like
be so good.
yeah, I do it all the time. It's just it's like I come home, it's like 7:30 at night or something like that. I've had some dinner, and then I'm like, oh, do you know what's sounding really cozy? Just lying down on top of the covers in the bed, playing the Steam Deck.
Yeah, and I have one of those nice back pillows too. So it has like, the back setup and then like the two little arms. So like I can get all cozy in it and sit there and play.
yeah, yeah, I would recommend. I would recommend. They are fantastic.
It's
Yeah,
it's like it's one of the things that I've been like, I don't need it, I don't need it, and I finally started to get to the point where I'm like, maybe I need it.
yeah, yeah. It's not a want; it's a need. like,
Yeah.
I need the Steam
I
Deck.
like I think like it's starting to get to like that point, and I know a lot of people are like, you're gonna get a Switch too, and I'm like, I think I might get a Steam Deck before I get a Switch too. Although this is like insight into my family and how crazy they are. So the first Switch that we got for this household, because we didn't rush to buy a Switch, was, I don't know if they have like Dave and Buster's by you or if they have something similar. But Dave and Buster's is basically like a restaurant that is also an arcade, and you can buy points and you
Okay,
play the games, and then you get tickets and you can redeem those tickets for different things. So the first Switch that we got in this house was because my parents had so many points and they didn't know what to do with it, so they redeemed it for a Switch. And then they don't live in the same state as me, they live in Florida. And they shipped it up to us, right? So we are partially holding out for Dave and Buster's to have the Switch too, because my parents have already said, they're like, yeah, we have like 400,000 points. We'll just redeem it for a Switch 2 and give it to you.
wait. Do they just go like every Friday to the restaurant and then afterwards just go to the arcades? Because if they do, that is the cutest thing I have ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah,
Like,
basically, yes. Usually, I think Wednesdays is like the half price game night, so that's normally when they go. Um, you know, my parents are high school sweethearts. I do not recommend this to people, right? But this worked out for them, which is great.
yeah,
But they've been together since they were very, very young, and they still have like these nights where they just go and do whatever. Um,
yeah.
they
Go to the
didn't
arcade.
they go to the arcade, right? And I somewhat jokingly, somewhat serious, I'm like, my dad has a little bit of a gambling problem, but like, so he goes to Dave and Buster's and he plays these games and he has fun and he gets his tickets and then, you know, cashes it in for whatever. Um,
Yeah,
so like my sister has a Switch from the amount of points that they've won. He has figured out how to do like the coin drop games, how to do it like at the exact right time so that he gets the most coins. Um,
yeah.
and he is very selective with the games that he plays. He'll be like, "Oh no, you can't play this game because you won't win enough from it," right? So he has
It's got
mastered.
like a spreadsheet. Like,
I wouldn't put it past him to have a spreadsheet or something on his phone, right? He doesn't use his
yeah,
phone for much, but I could very much see him like using his phone to be like, "Here are the games to play." But so he plays those and then he like gets his points, and they hold on to them until there's like something that they really want. Um, So, like, my sister has an OLED Switch. I have the regular Switch. Um, and then eventually we'll get the Switch 2 that way. But getting the Switch
yeah,
2 that way means that I can, like, put funds aside for a Steam Deck.
yeah. And the Switch 2 is
So,
expensive, so
yeah, so I'm like, it's a win-win that I only have to buy one of those consoles. Right? Like,
yeah,
that's a win for everybody.
absolutely. Your parents get to have their fun, amazingly cute arcade date nights where they're just having a lovely time, and your dad has his spreadsheet out in the background, being like, "No, You can't play that. It's not. We don't get enough points. Like,
Literally.
move on. Like,
The few times that I have gone with them, he'll be like, "Why are you playing this? This doesn't give you." And I'm like, "Well, this is just fun." He's like, "No, no, let me show you which game to play." And then he'll just like escort me over to the game. I'm like, "Okay."
Unless it's fully optimized, you don't understand. It's not fun. And do you know what? There's a bit of me that completely, because I love a spreadsheet. There's a bit of me that fully understands that. Like, it's just like, no, I get it.
It's like, I'm so glad he's not a D&D player, because he would be one of those players that would min-max all of his like characters. So I'm like,
yeah,
this is for the best. If this is where you need to get this out, that's fine. At least there is something that comes at the end of this. You know, if he was just like at a casino, he would just be throwing away money. Is he still throwing away money at Dave & Buster's? A little bit, but they're having fun about getting a Switch.
Oh, I love that.
So, you know, they have their date night. They do that, you know, and I mean, Jesus, it's been, they've been together 40-something years, so clearly it works.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. That's the secret to a happy marriage. Like, managing like a very small gambling addiction by optimizing arcade games.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
listen, my
I can't believe I've never tried that. Oh yeah, no, my inner gamer. I love an arcade, and I do love a Penny Falls. Like, that's the one that I'm best at. Because my gran taught me how to do it when I was a child. Because she does have a gambling problem, and she's like, no, you need to put it and wait, and you're like, right, okay. And then, you know, you get all the toys from the bottom of it. So, yeah.
So, you know,
I can see the vision. I can see the vision. Yeah.
So now, if you've listened to this podcast so far, you have now heard the secret to a happy marriage, as well as games you should play, what we're drinking.
Yep. If you have recommendations of games you could play, or other tips about how to have a happy marriage, post them in the comments down below. Like, yeah.
Give us all your tips and tricks, all your game recs, everything. This is Girl Pod, where we get to be a little bit more unstructured than the rest of the podcast on Gamer Social Club.
Yeah, we get to be a bit silly. Give us your wildest games that you want us to check out.
Yes.
That might make us put the controller down and go, damn. Like, that's what we want. These are the games we want to play.
And it doesn't have to be damn in a good way too, right? Oh,
it can be damn in a bad way.
It could be damn in a bad way. It could be damn in a like, what the hell is this, right? Like, this is not necessarily like a game or demo rec, but because Date Everything is still like the hot thing, right? You know, a hot take that I'll give, you know, before we get like to the ending is, try games where you don't just get to date everything in your household, but there are some crazy dating sims that have come out before that. Like, if you've ever wanted to date tanks, try Panzer Models. You ever want to date military tanks? Your face alone says it all, right? Like, oh, yeah.
I could be into this.
Try Panzer Models. Is it a little bit maybe not so politically correct at times? Yes. Because you are dating military tanks, right? So you will date a German military tank that, you know, while it's not full, like, 1940s Germany, there will be some things that you'll be like, what did she just say? But, right?
I could fix her, though.
You could fix her. That's exactly it, right? You could fix her. Right? Try dating some tanks, right? So that's like a hot take from me, right? Like, date the tanks in the game. Or if you want to date some pigeons, Hatoful Boyfriend is out there for you, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It's such a good game. It's such a good game.
Date some pigeons. Don't limit yourself to just your household items.
Yeah. Don't limit yourself to in the house. You too could go to a high school for pigeons that you can date. Like, you can do it. Try, if you can find the mod for it, you can also date the Colonel from KFC.
Yes.
You know, these are all dating sims that you can play that, again, might make you put your controller down and go, what the fuck is going on? Like, And we want to
100%.
hear about it. Like, we want to hear about it. So
I
we
do.
can play them.
I do. I want to hear about it. Unless you are Ben Starr, in which case the only thing we're romancing is Dorian and Date Everything. That's it. I'm not romancing anything else because we still want you on the podcast,
Yeah.
Ben Stars. But if you're not Ben Starr,
absolutely. Yeah. If you're not Ben Starr, go and romance a tank and tell us what you thought about it.
romance the tank, romance the pigeon.
Yeah.
The world is your oyster.
Yeah.
Step outside, romance everything. Any other hot takes you want to give before we wrap up?
No, not around anything on topic. I'm sure I will have hot takes later on as we do more podcasts, as I have questionable tastes, let's put it that way, and quite a lot of things, but not for this one.
Questionable or exotic?
Oh, if we're talking about things that I would date, definitely exotic. If we're talking about potential taste in video games, questionable is definitely the word to use. Like,
It's fair. That's fair.
yeah, I'll wait a bit until I say that you have to play Dark Souls 2. Like, that'll be
God.
later down the line.
Oh, Dark Souls 2. I've played Dark Souls 3. Dark Souls 2 is the one where every time you die, you lose half your health or whatever, right?
You lose a little bit of your health.
Okay.
You don't. Yeah. But
sneak peek.
It's my favorite one. Yeah. Sneak peek into my terrible taste is the fact that the worst one is my favorite one. Like.
So there you have it. If you want more of that, then you have to like and follow and subscribe. And that's our episode 0, or maybe episode 1. I think episode 0, introduction.
Yeah.
Right?
Introduction to GirlPods.
Yeah, introduction. So if you have made it this far, thank you so much for joining us and listening to us ramble. I won't say fully drunk, maybe a little tipsy, maybe a little, loose, a little fun. And don't forget that you can catch V joining the boys on the weekly news podcast each week. Find our articles over on gamosocialclub.ca. And if you need more gamers to chat with, maybe you don't have enough in your life, be sure to join the Discord in the link that will be down in the description with this. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share with your gamer friends. Tell us your hot takes. Maybe we'll just discuss some of your hot takes in the future.
Yeah.
If you're feeling it, leave a comment on something that we did that was wonderful. Tell us what maybe was not wonderful that we should cut out for the next episode. And if you're listening on a podcast service, add that 5-star review. Let us know how this went. And we'll see you next time on GSC's Girl Pod.
Yep. Bye, guys.
Bye.